Kyrgyzstan. Welcome to the GCN show. Woo.
Welcome to the GCN show.
Coming up this week, it is the first ever Gravel World Championships. Who is going to win? And perhaps more to the point, does anyone care?
We've also got a potentially groundbreaking tech innovation discovered by you, a hydrogen-powered e-bike, and you can win a brand new Wahoo Element Roam.
Woohoo! Sorry.
This week in the world of cycling, we learned that Filippo Ganna has got a fully 3D printed Pinarello for his hour record attempt later this week.
The first fully 3D printed frame out there, we think. Well, second actually, because Dan Bigham's current Pinarello World Hour Record bike, you'd assume, was like the prototype.
You'd assume so, yes. From modern to retro, we learnt that fresh from his incredible third place at La Vuelta, the latest pro cycling child prodigy Juan Ayuso lined up at the vintage bike race Leroyca on a Colnago Super that's about 3 times older than he is.
Nah, that bike is way older than 30, isn't it?
But I'm sure fine today, so.
Thanks, mate. We also learned that Ineos Grenadiers may have signed their first ever female rider.
And it's only taken 13 years. Incredible, isn't it? Joking aside, rumours are circulating that Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, who held world titles in cross, road and mountain bike simultaneously in 2015, has signed for their new off-road team.
So no road team.
Doesn't sound like it, unfortunately. We also learned that some of the cyclocross racers might still be stuck on that climb in Rochester.
This is not proper cross. This is too bad.
No,
this needs to be amended.
And finally this week, we learned that the first official Gravel World Championships are taking place this weekend in the gravel racing hotbed, not of Kansas, not of Colorado, but Italy.
And that's all we know, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the rest of the UCI Gravel World Series, it is truly in keeping with the spirit of gravel racing, underground. But if you're cool enough, you will know.
Oh yeah, fortunately, while we might not be cool enough, we can use Google. So here is what we found out. Crucially, Dan, are aero socks allowed?
Yes.
Yes. And aero bars?
I have absolutely no idea. Although I think the UCI are wise to stay out of that debate, because otherwise Peter Stettiner will be out to get them.
Oof, that's a terrifying prospect.
The rules are, for the UCI, strangely quite loose, aren't they, in keeping with the spirit of gravel?
The spirit.
But while they say that while almost any bike is allowed, tandems and time trial bikes are not.
Okay, so potentially aero bars are out then, because that's pretty time trial bike, as is the next EF Education alternative race, where Alex Howes and Lachlan Morton ride a tandem.
Crikey, that would be a trendy tandem, wouldn't it?
Just, yeah.
Unfortunately, team-sponsored Cannondale, which was once a legendary tandem manufacturer, has stopped making them for the time being. Weirdly, it doesn't seem like many people seem to buy tandems.
But I can't imagine why.
Are you in the saddle?
Okay, so what else do we know then about the Gravel Worlds?
The route. We know about the route,
Excellent.
don't we? Unlike typical gravel races, the women and men will not race together and actually will ride on different length courses.
Yes, both of which are pretty short for gravel. The elite women tackle just 140 kilometres with only 700 metres of climbing throughout the whole event, but 69% of the race is on gravel.
The men have got 190 kilometres with 73% gravel. And I guess with the World Championships, it's a good idea to separate the two categories, but it's a shame that the distances have become a bit sort of Euro gravel.
Euro gravel. There's a new discipline right there, and I reckon it'll need a bike specific for that task as well. Right, so far then, you might think that we're not super fussed about the Gravel Worlds. However, let us assure you that actually, I think it's a pretty mouth-watering prospect. I can't wait. Dan, I mean, what's the start looking like?
Well, this is actually where the UCI have really embraced the gravel ethos by keeping things mysterious.
The spirit of gravel. There's no start list, is there?
I couldn't find one, I've got to say, although we do have 4 full days until the event starts on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Peter Sagan is apparently doing it.
Whoa.
But beyond that, all I could find was a press release about who the USA are sending over to Italy.
Peter Stettiner, team captain?
No, he's not on the list.
Oh.
Not sure what his excuse is, but I'm sure we'll all find out very soon.
Yeah,
Matt Stevens is doing it.
Tell you what, can't see me being beat today, boys.
Is he?
Yes, but it's the Matt Stevens, not our former colleague at
okay,
GCN.
yeah.
Alex Howes, Lauren de Crescenzo and Lauren Stevens are also on the USA cycling list.
That is a very strong sounding squad. Women's in particular, 2 potential winners, I think, right there.
Yes, Nico Roach is riding for Ireland. They couldn't afford to send people to Australia for the Road Worlds, but they can to Italy. So I messaged him to see if he knew who was on the start list.
And?
He doesn't know anything.
What?
What we have found out, though, through Dutch media is that Mathieu van der Poel is going to be riding on Sunday.
I mean, I thought he'd already told us that at the Zwift Academy last November.
Are you considering racing the Gravel World Championships?
Yes.
Will you win it?
I don't know. I've never done a gravel race, so...
Well, he was definitive, wasn't he? That he was considering it.
He
but
was,
it sounds
yeah.
like he's definitely doing it. And now we spoke about potential Ineos Grenadiers signing Pauline Ferrand-Prévot earlier. She's thrown her hat into the ring to try to claim what would be her 4th world title of the year, to add to the 3 mountain bike ones that she's collected already.
It's not bad, is
Not
it?
bad.
There is rumour of a few World Tour hitters lining up as well. Belgium might have Oliver Naesen and Greg van Avermaet, we've heard.
Yeah, it's a day after the Italian one-day classic and Monument Il Lombardia, which might mean that a few riders will double up.
Yeah, I think it is going to be well contested, and I think there might be a few surprises thrown into that start list as well. And I like the mystery behind it. I've never had to tune into a race before just to find out who's riding, let alone a World Championships.
Well, the good news is that you will be able to tune into it on GCN+. The bad news is that the host broadcasters only have the men's race live, which is on Sunday, with highlights of the women's race from the previous day running during that programme. Territory restrictions will apply, though.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to watch what we do have. That sounds amazing. No rights restrictions for our next pro race content, though. Oh no, it's time to find out how Cillian Kelly is getting on. Fresh from his Zwift race drubbing. You know he's demoted as team leader.
Was he?
Yeah, live on GCN. It's quite brutal to watch.
Oh, man.
Still on my way up the pyramid. So that was 30 seconds at 255 watts. That goes 45 seconds at the same, 1 minute at the same, then 45 seconds, then 30 seconds with a break in between. It's relentless. It's really hard. You just don't get to recover. Oh, okay.
So I'm nearly there. I've done my baseline ride and 5 workouts, so only 1 workout left and another baseline ride at the end to let me know how much I've improved. The workouts have been hard, really hard sometimes, especially the most recent one, which was called Pyramids, which involved repeated, sustained, increasing and then decreasing in length efforts at 125% of my FTP. My FTP being 197 at the moment, for anyone wondering, so that was really difficult. But I feel good. I feel like I've got a spring in my step. I find myself bounding up staircases. Played 5-a-side football last night and I felt better than I have in ages, months. And all of which means I'm 100% confident I'm going to smash the results of my first baseline ride when it comes to doing it again at the end of this week. So the Zwift Academy ends on Sunday, so I've only a few days now to do my last training session and my final baseline ride, but by this time next week, hopefully, I'll be calling myself a Zwift Academy graduate.
And now it's time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts
Oh
now.
no, what's happened to Planet Cycling from last week?
It was kind of a one-off, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, cycling shorts now, and we will start with news that GCN show commentator Niproat, is it Nipirat? I don't know. Anyway, you've invented an aero game changer.
Yeah, they said high socks are illegal, but leg warmers are not. So we just have to wait until someone invents the $5,000 aero leg warmer.
There you go. Aside from the price tag, that is not such a stupid idea. In fact, we asked the boss of aero clothing company No Pins what he thought, given that No Pins had made a pair of socks for Mark Beaumont that even Annemiek van Vleuten might have thought was a little bit high.
The UCI have no jurisdiction over the NC500,
No,
do they?
no.
Anyway, No Pins said that they have made full-length skin suits for custom orders before, and yes, it would theoretically be possible to save a couple of watts by having leg warmers instead of shorts and socks. The hesitation they've had so far has been from consumers not wanting them,
I wonder
strangely.
why, yeah. No, they also said that go the whole hog and no one will be able to recognise you anyway. Look,
Oh,
there you go.
Aero
And
balaclava.
as No Pins also point out, you wouldn't need to shave your legs. So whilst you might look like a bit of a dork on the bike, you'd look less of a dork off the bike.
I honestly can't imagine why anyone wouldn't have a full-length skin suit, certainly for early season time trials, and probably road races too, so well done to you in Puro.
Oh, that was nicely put. Anyway, moving on, Canadian politician Rick Sean, who recently gave a talk in Winnipeg about cracking down on bike theft, found out that his own bike had been stolen less than 2 hours later.
Alexa, define irony. Yes, Sean admitted to feeling a little bit silly because he'd left his bike unlocked on his car as he stopped in a local store. When he came out, it had gone.
That is brutal, isn't it? I think if I was him, I'd probably have kept quiet.
I think I would have done as well,
But
yes.
anyway, moving on, could lithium e-bike batteries be a thing of the past? Last week, what we believe to be the first ever hydrogen-powered e-bike went on sale in China.
Yeah, it's made by the Yonghang Technology Company and has a range of 55 kilometres and retails for 12,800 Chinese yuan.
Which is currently £1 million sterling, isn't it? No, I think that joke has run its course now. A bit too close to home, innit? It works out as about $1,800 US.
Now, you might be wondering how you get it recharged. Well, the company will come round and change it over for you, and they're aiming to have hydrogen replacement facilities in certain residential areas of the country in the near future.
We shall see if other companies follow suit. I can't imagine hydrogen fuel cells are going to particularly allay concerns of e-bike batteries spontaneously combusting, but I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Safety concerns might still be there. Now, Nick Murphy left a comment under last week's show to say that it was their team of staff at Trek Wollongong with their main manager David who provided the Ukrainian national team with their last-minute replacement bikes at the World Championships there last week.
Brilliant, well done you lot. I do like that story. Very cool, isn't it?
Right, we've got some news from Wahoo now.
Woohoo!
Thank you very much, Si. Yes, they have just launched a new version of their Roam head unit, which is the larger of their two-element head units. The larger screen is designed to make following maps even simpler, and there's 17 hours of battery life as opposed to 15.
I've left mine upstairs. Hang on a second. I tell you what, I reckon I might have got a KOM. Right, here we go. For adventure types, it has got a much bigger memory than the previous version, and the number of colours on the screen, I don't know whether you can tell that from it, has up from 8 to 64.
For the full lowdown, make sure you check out Ollie's first look video over on GCN Tech. Wahoo have been good enough to give 3 of the new head units away to lucky GCN viewers too. So if you want to get your hands on one, click on the link in the description down below.
Yeah, that is super cool, and thank you very much to Wahoo for those competition prizes. Don't delay, enter today. Okay, anyway, lastly, how are you all getting on with your commuter challenges? I got caught in the rain for the first time in months on Friday, which, well, as you say, it's not that bad. As long as you're not starting out in the rain, I kind of find it's all right. And it's nothing that can't be fixed with a cup of tea and a hot shower when you get there.
No, it's not, no. We had some cool video updates as well from GCN viewers. Shout out to Andy Coleman, who uploaded his super commuter challenge to the GCN app. 5 days, 10 different routes, 100 Ks a day.
Crikey, that is impressive, although slightly more understandable when you can see from Strava that he's in Aix-en-Provence in France.
Does make it a little bit easier, doesn't
potentially on holiday, I would imagine, as well, with those kind of mileages.
If you want to get involved, the challenge is to commute to work by bike for a whole month. We've got a load of people at GCN Megabase all doing it. So here is a little update from our Steve.
Our Steve?
One sensation that is new to me, and I'll have to discuss in great detail with Si when I get to the office, but I've never had numbness in the undercarriage before. Now, I'm sure Si is going to be really interested in talking to me about this, but I think it might be my rucksack. It's quite heavy, so it might be pushing down on my, on the saddle, so to speak. So yeah, I might have to adjust that. Possibly, and I apologise to all the cyclists, the commute purists out there, but I might have to put my triathlon saddle on, but we'll see.
Hack / Bodge of the week now, and the first one this week was posted by Cillian Kelly, GCN. You might recognise his name. He said, I broke my belt as soon as I arrived in Bath yesterday, but turns out a Wahoo heart rate monitor has more than one use. Unfortunately, as you can see, he lost all sweatshirts and t-shirts on his arrival in Bath as well.
Yeah, that was
not great for the
unfortunate,
photo.
No. caused quite a big disturbance here in Bath as well, didn't it, when he was getting his lunch. A lot of Wahoo going on in this week's GCN show.
The microwave chat was horrible.
A lot of Wahoo going on the GCN show this week, but there we go. There's another use for him.
Hold on a sec. Are we going to vote?
Oh yeah.
Bodge.
Yeah, I'm going to say massive Bodge.
If he had a t-shirt on and he just pulled it up enough to see the Wahoo heart rate strap, I might have said hack. But with that photo, it's a definite Bodge from my point of view.
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, it's better than like tying your jeans up with like an old shoelace or something.
It's better than what might happen to the jeans had he not used his Wahoo belt, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, you persuaded me. I'll go hack.
Okay, 58% of you lot thought that was a hack as well. So there you go, Cillian. Got your first ever GCN hack. It's official. Next up, McGiven Jeff. I think that's right.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Old seat post to stem holder, messing about in the garage and had a bright idea. So there we go, look, all of the stems neatly arranged in size order, attached via an old seat post. Who knew? Well, I never really thought about it actually.
No,
Yeah,
I must admit I don't have enough stems that I need a storage solution quite like that.
I've got a fair few knocking around these days.
Yeah, mine are quill though.
Yeah, I bet they are. I find, maybe it's just me, perhaps some of you lot are also slightly weird like this, but I've got an awful lot of handlebars. I'm really particular about handlebars, and I keep buying handlebars and then find a reason to buy more handlebars.
Don't have many of them either. What I do have, as you know, is an abundance of vintage Campagnolo Super Record cassettes.
Oh, yeah.
1123.
Those are going to be worth mega bucks now, mate.
Back to the hack and bodge in hand. I'm going hack.
Yeah, I'm going to go hack. There's something really pleasing about that.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'll say hack anyway. 72% of you voted hack on that one. Spellscape puts, at least it's bike themed and cheap. Short description, but a picture tells 1,000 words. And this is the picture.
Crap.
Oh!
Sorry.
Yeah. Slightly better than your previous jokes.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I suppose what I'm wondering is how quickly that cable is going to corrode and then not work anymore. Kind of needs to be hydraulic, doesn't it?
I was going to say, you think it's not hydraulic?
Well, that's definitely not hydraulic lube, is it? So no, and yeah, basically, I think it's going to be a temporary solution.
There's no real reason for too much water to get in there, but it doesn't go right down to the.
Do you not think it's underwater?
I wouldn't have thought so, but I'm no plumbing expert. So
just try to think about the inside of the cistern. Channeling my.
Any plumbers watching, let us know in the comment section down below. Can't wait to read all of that information later.
Normally, it's like on the surface of the water, isn't it, when all the gubbins happens?
No, the water's a bit below. Surely when you take that top bit off. Anyway, I'm going bodge.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go hack. I think it's kind of cool.
Okay, well, you are with the majority. 76% of people went with hack.
Excellent. Behold 81. Custom bike carrier. I didn't want bikes on the roof or hanging off the tow bar, causing issues with security. Yeah, that poor Canadian chap feels your pain there. And save fuel on long journeys. So some welding for custom lower fork brackets and some 3D printed spacers to protect the paint on the forks, and they work a treat. You've got two of our buzzwords right in there: welding and 3D printed. Yeah. That is a hack.
You're just missing zip ties. We've seen these before, haven't we? But not for quite some time. And I love the last one, and I love that one as well. It just satisfies me with how neat it looks.
It does. And like those custom sliders, like what are they? Is that like?
Are they custom sliders?
Well, I don't know. There's some. It looks like it's in the slidery bit. That is cool.
Well, we're getting very technical here, Si. But either way, it's a hack from me.
Yeah, hack from me too. Presumably that STI lever means you can shut the boot. It looks like quite close.
Ominously close.
It does, doesn't it?
Unsurprisingly, most of you voted that a hack, 96% to be precise. As ever, a reminder that the hacks and bodges we'll show on next week's show are already on the GCN app for you to vote on, but you can get involved ready for a fortnight's time, it's 2 weeks to you Americans, by uploading your hacks and bodges to the app.
They don't have fortnights.
They've got the game, but I don't think they use the term. I'll just double check that.
Hang on.
If not, we can edit it out.
Can you just let us know in the comment section, please? Thanks. Caption competition time now, that part of the show where you get a chance to get your hands on a coveted GCN Elite water bottle. All you got to do is put a witty caption in the comment section down below that relates to a photo we will give you in just a second. But as always, we'll start with the results first.
We will. The winner of the bottle for this week is Bennett Davies, who put #Caption Competition. The UCI continue to search for someone with ankles the same size as size. Genius. I mean, what's so genius about that is that he didn't say bigger ankles than yours, presumably because he knew how impossible that would be, but the same size.
Get in touch and someone else will send you out a water bottle. I couldn't bear the thought of it, frankly. No, that is quite funny, actually, isn't it?
Very good, yes. Get in touch with us on Facebook with a message, Bennett, with your address, and we'll get the bottle sent out to you.
Yeah, right. The photo for you to get stuck into this week is this one here from the Giro dell'Emilia. Dan, do you want to get started?
I will get you started, yes. At the end of a long, successful season, Elisa Longo Borghini takes 2 wins in one day by taking the Giro dell'Emilia and a game of rock, paper, scissors. It was the best I could come up with.
I like that, because actually, paper beats rock, doesn't it?
Yes.
So you're right as well.
Well, I did actually work this out.
Oh, did you?
I did actually spend about a minute.
It wasn't just luck.
No.
I think that's good. If you lot think you can beat it, get involved in the comment section down below. And of course, we'll have another winner next week.
A few of our favourite comments underneath last week's videos before we tell you what's coming up on GCN this week. Starting under Bike Packing with the Gods, Matthew Acton Varian put, in inverted commas, I'm putting my life in the hands of Hank, saying you're a braver man than me, Connor. And yes, not even Hank puts his life in Hank's hands, does he?
No, he always needs a team of safety experts with him.
Responsible people,
That's it, to stop him doing anything stupid. No, I did have a chuckle at that bit of the video, it's got to be said. Texas Flood also said, the word epic gets overused quite often these days, but not in this case. Truly an epic trip for Connor and Hank. And yeah, it was awesome. So if you haven't seen that video yet, you've got to check it out. Because, well, it's a great watch, wasn't it?
It's epic.
It is epic, yeah.
Underneath the last mile, What's Expat put, do not let Dan do this, the beer would never make it to its destination. Spot on.
Yeah, it is true, actually. And Dave Kashuba said, every video I see with Connor makes me realise that I take life way too seriously and you need to relax a bit. Maybe we should all unleash our inner 5-year-old self a little more often. So, yeah. Funny how Connor's 5-year-old self is still enormous, isn't it?
Yes,
but
compared
anyway.
to an average 5-year-old.
That's right, yeah.
Under £1,000 eBay bike versus £10,000 superbike, £10,000 being $100 at the moment. Dermiers put, Ooyy has an incredible story. Once upon a time he got dropped, then he took it personally.
I don't know what to say to that, it's true. Ollie is screaming fit right now.
He always is, isn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he's like Lance Armstrong, like motivated by other people, like, you know, getting him down.
As long as it is just the motivation part of that.
Yes, I'm not suggesting anything untoward for Ollie Bridgman's fault, please no. Yeah, no, he's not like Lance Armstrong in that respect. And he's also a really nice bloke as well.
Yeah, true.
He's never bullied anyone in his life as far as I can tell. Right then, can we lead a team of average Joes to Zwift glory? Adam McCabe said, never tried a Zwift race, but I'm going to try my first tomorrow now, thanks to the inspiration.
Oh, well done.
So there we go, yeah. Let us know how it gets on. How you get on. See whether you can perform better than Matt, our Matt, did in his first Zwift race as well. So
I need to get back on Zwift. I've ridden a bike for quite some time at this point. Underneath last week's show, Stud Cycling put €1,000 for socks. I'd still lose one in the trash.
Wash. Yeah. When I read that comment, I was like, yeah, that's true. And you'd also still poke a hole in it with your big toe, wouldn't you? And that'd be really annoying.
You know that I'm pretty organised with my sock and underwear collection in my drawer.
Well, yes. You tell me. It's not like I've seen it
I've sent you
firsthand.
photos.
That's a good point, actually.
Genuinely have. So pleased was I with my arranging of socks and underpants.
Does that mean you don't lose socks?
Don't generally, no.
Do you not?
No, very rarely. I definitely would not lose a sock that effectively cost €500 and makes the other €500 sock redundant.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed actually. I tend to be relatively good with my cycling socks. I don't have many non-pairs, but every now and then, like I've got 2 pairs that are the same, but then one of them, the ankle.
It's got a hole in it.
The ankle tore, yeah. So now I've got 3 socks that are the same, and I just rotate them to try and get them to last longer. Anyway, we digress slightly. Simon HBS said on that same video, I reckon the radical zip ties on
Radial. Oh, I'm so pleased to have to correct you.
Sorry, radial zip ties on a helmet could pave the way for a punk style movement in cycling soon. Next up, Dr. Martens boots with cleat mounts. Goodness me. Are zip ties particularly punk? I'm no punk.
Well, no, but the helmet with zip ties, I guess, looked a bit like a sort of punk hairstyle from the 80s,
I see.
I think is what they're alluding to.
I get it.
Right then, well, we have spent a lot of time talking about the comments, so on to what's coming up on the channel. On Wednesday, this was supposed to come out last week, you'll know if you're watching the show, but it's how to carry your essentials on a bike ride. And then Thursday is gravel mistakes to avoid, including putting out start this too early if you're organising an event.
That's right, on Friday, cannot wait for you to see this. We talked a while ago on a GCN show about Inigo San Milan, who's Tadej Pogacar's coach, the head of performance for UAE Emirates, and also an eminent scientist over in the US doing medical research. Anyway, he joined us for a video call and explained all about why training slowly can make you faster. So that is essential viewing, I'd say. Honestly, the amount of light bulb moments. Incredible. And then on Saturday, you asked for it, we delivered. We have found a Lotus bike, one of the legendary, iconic Lotus time trial bikes, and we put it up against a modern aero bike to find out just how it compares. And then on Sunday, a cafe ride can't be beaten, right? So how many cafe stops will it take in order to make the perfect cafe ride? We wondered whether 10 would be appropriate. So make sure you stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, you're looking forward to that. You're actually doing it tomorrow.
I'm doing it tomorrow, yeah. 200 Ks, 10 espressos.
Quick maths, 1 every 20 Ks, that is.
Yeah.
Or you could do all 10 at the start. And hopefully they were gone through your system, literally, by the time you get to the end.
So we're going to fill up a loyalty card as we go.
Yeah, you can do that in one place.
Do they let you do that?
Well, I thought so, if you keep going back and buying another one.
I suppose coffee, right?
I'd want another blooming stamp if I paid separately. I can tell you.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, there we go then.
Beyond the content on GCN Plus, the latest documentary, the content on GCN, the latest documentary on GCN Plus, Sai went out to Koblenz to visit the canyon and find out from the founder how he took it from a family business to the behemoth that I think you could call it today. Also getting exclusive interviews with a number of people, including Mathieu van der Poel, his relationship with the brand.
They wouldn't let me interview him, unfortunately, but there is an amazing interview with Mathieu van der Poel, but I was kept at arm's length.
Oh, I
that
see.
One. Yeah,
But
no,
he had enough of us after the worst interview ever with Mathieu van der Poel at the Zwift Academy last year.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, do check it out. It's a super cool documentary actually, and Roman Arnold particularly was incredibly interesting talking about his brand. So yeah, check it out, and then a bunch of racing coming up.
We have got a lot of racing. The road season is now winding down, but there's a lot on this week. We've got Il Lombardia, the final round of the UCI Worlds Tour, if I can get my words out. That's coming on Saturday. Full live coverage from start to finish. Available everywhere except
New Zealand?
Yes, New Zealand. But good news, as of 2023, all RCS races, so the Giro d'Italia, Tirreno Adriatico, Il Lombardia, San Remo, etc., are available in all territories, including...
No way.
Yes, including New Zealand.
Okay, if that doesn't spark an avalanche of people from New Zealand subscribing to GCN Plus, I don't know what
we
will.
would love to have your company.
Welcome along, New Zealand friends.
We also mentioned the Gravel World Championships on Sunday, and also the first round of the UCI Cyclocross World Cup from Waterloo in Wisconsin on Sunday evening. Territory restrictions do apply, but there's a lot to watch if you're in the right area.
That is ridiculously busy.
It is,
isn't it? I'm gonna have to cancel all my weekend plans now. Right, thank you very much for watching, if you've managed to stay through to the bitter end. And we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Hopefully I'll see you next week. 10 espressos. We'll have to see how that goes.